This is a slam poem by the poet Jesse Parent. To the boys who may one day date my daughter, I have been waiting for you. Since before her birth, since before my spark took hold and ignited the fire in her mother's belly, I have been training to kill you. When you took your first steps, I was preparing to make it so you never walked again. When you played at war, I was perfecting headshots you can't catch up at this point. And when you first meet my daughter, you are gonna want to talk to her. And when those hours pass by like sprinters during that first timeless conversation, you will also know with a deep and impending sense of dread that you are gonna have to talk to me. When you first come to my home and see the bone carving over my threshold, try not to imagine your own femurs so expertly carved. Be careful to only approach me with love for my daughter. You see, I have been seeding her childhood with taproot hugs to weed out apathy and indifference. If you break her heart, I will hear it snap with the ear I pressed against her mother's belly. My cheeks, you see, they are attuned to her lips. I will know if they tremble. I have taught her that a man should never hit a woman. Now, her mother would like to add that you really shouldn't ever hit anyone, but I have taught her that a man should never hit a woman. Consider my genes a mark of Cain. You will suffer 7 times whatever you do to her. I have been teaching her love all her life, and all I ask is that you continue the lesson. Love her, befriend her, protect her, be there when I can't, and when my body gives up to the grave, let the grin that eternity carves into my face be a reflection of the peace your love brings to her. And we should get along just fine.
William by Lewis Carroll. You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white. And yet you incessantly stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? In my youth, Father William replied to his son, I feared it might injure the brain. But now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, why, I do it again and again. You are old, said the youth, as I mentioned before, and have grown most uncommonly fat. Yet you turned a back somersault in at the door. Pray, what was the reason for that? In my youth, said the sage as he shook his grey locks, I kept all my limbs very supple. By the use of this ointment, 1 shilling a box. Allow me to sell you a couple? You are old, said the youth, and your jaw is too weak for anything tougher than suet. Yet you finished the goose with the bones and the beak. Pray, how did you manage to do it? In my youth, said his father, I took to the law and argued each case with my wife. And the muscular strength that it gave to my jaw has lasted the rest of my life. You are old, said the youth. One would hardly suppose that your eye was as steady as ever. Yet you balanced an eel on the end of your nose. What made you so awfully clever? I have answered 3 questions and that is enough, said his father. Don't give yourself airs. Do you think I have all day for such stuff? Be off or I'll kick you downstairs. Thank you.
If, by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired of waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good or talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those 2 impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life for broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve their turn long after they're gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, then yours is the earth and all that is in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Thank you.